turns out that the United States and its allies knew all about Saddam's chemical weapons from the very beginning. In 1983, for instance, Donald Rumsfeld, now Secretary of Defense, then a private business executive, is given a mission by President Ronald Reagan.
I'm pleased to announce today the appointment of Donald Rumsfeld as my special representative for the Middle East.
One of his assignments, to bolster U.S. ties with Saddam. 20 years later, an interviewer shows a tape of that embarrassing handclasp to Donald Rumsfeld.
Where did you get this video? From the Iraqi television, I see. Isn't that interesting? There I am.
So what was going on?
Rumsfeld maintains that after that handshake, he gave a clear warning to Iraq's foreign minister.
In that visit, I cautioned him about the use of chemical weapons, as a matter of fact, and discussed a host of other things.
But that cautioning may have been lost among that host of other things. 4 months after Rumsfeld's visit, American journalist Joe Trento visited Iraq. He flew over a battlefield with his pilot, Mohammed.
And we flew very low over the battlefield and we started seeing bodies. But the bodies weren't injured. And there were body after body just laying in position. And I asked Mohammed, what happened? And Mohammed says, mustard gas.
Back in Baghdad, Trento told the top diplomats at the American embassy what he'd seen. They weren't surprised.
They knew exactly what Saddam was. They knew that he was engaging in the production of illegal poison gases like mustard gas, that the byproducts to make the gas was being brought in from Germany, and that the United States was well aware of how he was using it. It was quite clear that we were aware of it as Americans. We knew everything that was going on, and we took no action.
Though they knew Saddam was using mustard gas against the enemy, the United States also supplied him with satellite intelligence to locate Iranian troops. That aid suddenly increased in 1988 when Rick Francona, an Air Force captain, was dispatched to Baghdad. His mission? To provide precise Iranian targets to the Iraqi Air Force to destroy a threatened Iranian offensive.
What we were trying to do was blunt the Iranian ability to launch the offensive. We were very concerned that if that offensive kicked off, it would mean the end of the war in Iranian favor. And that's what we were trying to prevent.
But then Francona discovered that the Iraqis had started using even more deadly chemical weapons, nerve gas, against the Iranians. Francona informed his superiors in Washington. The response was immediate.
We were told to cease all of our cooperation with the Iraqis until people in Washington were able to sort this out. There were a series of almost daily meetings on how are we going to handle this, what do we do? Do we continue our relations with the Iraqis and ensure that the Iranians do not win this war, or do we let the Iraqis fight this on their own without any U.S. assistance, and they'll probably lose? So there are your options, neither one palatable. The decision was made that we would restart our relationship with the Iraqis. We went back to Baghdad.
And continued?
Exactly, continued on as before.